Welcome to Bite Size, a collaborative psychoeducation mini-podcast series created by Healthy Poor and support staff. In case you haven't heard about us, our organizations were created by hospitality, for hospitality, and are actively working to increase knowledge and awareness of mental health in the hospitality industry. If you'd like to take your learning a step further, check out the glossary of terms and thought prompts that we have available at www.pleasehustleresponsibly.org. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Bite Size. My name is Laura Kelton. I've been working in the hospitality industry for 13 years, and I'm one of the co-founders of Support Staff. Because our organization is actively working to increase knowledge and awareness of mental health in the hospitality industry, we thought we'd start at square one. What is mental health? What do you think of when you hear the term mental health? I know that for myself and for a lot of us, it brings up a lot of feelings like fear, anxiety, shame, even intriguing curiosity. And while feeling such a range of emotions can be confusing, I think it's really important to understand the why behind it. And that is that, historically speaking, our society has not done a great job of educating on the topic of mental health. Honestly, it's something that we're just starting to understand, and there is so much more that we have to learn. But because of that lack of education, there are also a lot of myths, misconceptions, and misinformation about what mental health really is and how it affects us. And it's really important to emphasize that it truly affects all of us. So let's take a moment just to reset so I can say it again. And this time, I want you to take a moment to recognize how your body reacts and how you feel afterwards. Mental health. Have those words made you feel emotional? Does your body feel different? Maybe you find that your breathing pattern has changed or that you're clenching your jaw. And guess what? That's okay. I'm here to help you understand what mental health is and what can impact your mental health. With the help of this series, my intention is that you'll be able to better understand the tremendous role that mental health plays in your day-to-day life and the lives of those around you. I hope you will have gotten a better grasp on how absolutely everything in our lives impacts our mental health. And I hope you'll be able to enter these conversations around mental health with less anxiety and more confidence. All right, so let's take a minute to break down why talking about mental health can make us so nervous in the first place. We've already touched on one of those reasons, and that is that there is very little education, much less emphasis on mental health in our day-to-day lives or our upbringings. A lot of times, because mental health isn't visible in the same way a physical ailment is, it isn't taken into consideration or taken as seriously. For example, when my sister was in high school, she told our mom that she needed to take a mental health day. My mom said no, so my sister made herself physically sick in order to take the day off that she knew she needed. And I remember when she told me this and how frustrating and heartbreaking I found it, because I knew that those choices were made by our mom, not because she didn't care, but because of the lack of education and, quite frankly, the lack of open communication surrounding mental health. Even now, as we see a massive influx of conversations surrounding mental health on social media, it still seems like mental health or mental health challenges are treated by people as something that doesn't affect them or something they just didn't catch. But it's so important to understand that everyone has mental health. That means that you have mental health, I have mental health, Oprah has mental health, your friends, your boss, all of us. And despite that, it seems that most of the time when people hear the term mental health, they immediately associate it with the most severe mental health issues or diagnosed disorders. And although commonly confused, mental health is not the same as mental health issues or mental health disorders. But honestly, it's not that surprising that our minds are automatically geared to think of mental health in such drastic terms with the way it's depicted in the media that we are constantly surrounded by. TV shows, movies, and even music heavily dramatize and misrepresent the most severe issues, vilifying characters that experience these issues and depict seeking help as a form of weakness. All of this, compounded with years and years of cultural stigmatization, has led us to associate mental health with things that are bad, shameful, frightening, and definitely not something that's easy to talk about. And the problem with that type of messaging is that it leads to fear and stigmatization around not only talking about mental health issues or asking for help, but also struggling to recognize that there's a problem at all. And that is why being here right now and learning is so incredibly important. What I'm trying to say is don't be too hard on yourself if you feel that talking about mental health is challenging, or if you feel yourself tense up when the topic is mentioned. Based on what we've experienced, been told, and seen, that's natural. But what I also need you to take away from this is that facing mental health issues and challenges are also natural. And because of that, it is truly up to all of us to normalize talking about these subjects, both positive mental health and its challenges. I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to listen and learn with me today. Don't forget to look for the supplemental learning tools like the glossary and thought prompts on our website. Until next time, cheers! Thank you to our donors and to our sponsor, Maverick Wine Company, for helping to make this episode possible. To help support this podcast and our other programs, please consider making a donation at www.pleasehustleresponsibly.org. Be sure to subscribe and tune in next time to learn more about mental health.